So I want to talk about inverse proportion today. Now, inverse proportion, like direct proportion, is just a way to relate two quantities with each other. And in inverse proportion, the product of two quantities is constant. So if we have two numbers, x and y, then x times y is always equal to k for some constant k. So for example, let's say we had two numbers, 1 and 6. Well, 1 times 6 is equal to 6. Now let's say this 1 changed to a 2. Then the 6 has to change to a 3 to keep 2 times 3 equal to 6. And notice how in inverse proportion, unlike direct proportion, when we increase one variable, so for instance, when this 1 increased to a 2, then this 6 actually decreased to a 3. So in direct proportion, increasing one variable increased another, like so. But in inverse proportion, we go the other way. If one quantity increases, then the other has to decrease to keep everything balanced. So that's how I would remember it. Direct goes like this, and inverse goes like this. Okay? So let's take a look at two examples which I've prepared. Okay, there we go. So let's look at our first problem. So if a and b are inversely proportional and a equals 6 when b equals 3, then find the new a when b equals 2. Okay, so if a and b are inversely proportional, what does that mean? Well, then that means that AB should be constant. In this case, A equals 6 when B equals 3, so AB is equal to 6 times 3, which is 18. Now we need to find the new value of A when the B changes to a 2. But since A and B are inversely proportional, AB is always equal to 18, which means that we know AB is equal to 2 times A, which should be equal to 18. And from here, A equals 9. And that makes sense. When this 3 dropped to a 2, well, now this 6 has to increase to a 9, just like we saw before. Now the next problem is an example of making sure to read carefully, because this time it's not A and B that are inversely proportional, it's A squared and B cubed. Yeah, A squared and B cubed. So A squared and B cubed are inversely proportional. That means A squared times B cubed is constant. A squared times B cubed is, let's see, so A equals 3. That's 3 squared, and B equals 5. 3 squared times 5 cubed. Which is 1125. Now we need to find the new b when a equals 7. So once again, a squared times b cubed equals, well, 7 squared times b cubed, and that should be equal to 1125. This means b cubed equals 1125 over 7 squared, which is 49. Now we want to find b, the corresponding b. We don't want b cubed, so all we have to do now to finish this is to just take a cube root. And you can honestly leave your answer like this, and that would be good enough for me. So I'm just going to box that. There we go. So that concludes this video on inverse proportion. Now let's take a look at some example problems which use inverse proportion to solve them.